Have you ever seen these types of videos on your For You page or timeline?
Question: if you could leave me for your dream girl, would you leave me?
No, I'm not your dream girl.
Babe, if I die and you remarry, who would you be buried next to? The new wife or me?
Hey, babe. Can you come peel this orange for me, please?
Then you've been exposed to this side of social media that wants you to break up. A recent trend that I've been seeing is the orange peel test. And this is where a woman asks her boyfriend or husband to peel an orange for her, and they see what he does. Is he going to peel it? Is he going to say, no, I'm not going to peel it? But essentially, this is the test that a lot of women are doing. And it just reminded me of a side of TikTok that likes to test their boyfriend. And I never really understood it, but it was entertaining and it was engaging. But little by little, I realized that this side of TikTok does not want you to win. This side of TikTok wants you to break up. Why do I think this side of TikTok wants you to break up? Well, I think it's because a lot of this type of content breeds insecurity inside of you, the person that posted the video, but also you as the person watching. I think it's a lose-lose situation. I think sometimes you're getting a little bit of entertainment out of it, but sometimes my heart's actually racing when I'm watching those videos. Is he going to peel the orange for her? Is he going to say that she is his dream girl? I'm at the edge of my seat and I'm nervous for them. And they seem to be nervous themselves.
Can I do what?
Peel the orange for me. Out. Thank you.
And I completely understand why. Because what happens if this test fails? What happens if the test fails? The comment section is going to eat you up and tell you to break up with your boyfriend. And I've seen this time and time again. Dump him on the street, break up with him. Let me read some of the comments. Asked my man and zero hesitation. Honey, you are my dream girl. He's out of there. You're too pretty for him anyway, girl. What is you doing? Ugh, this broke my heart. You deserve better. You should be his dream girl. And the list goes on. This creator probably saw the comments and actually had a fight with her soul. She probably was really sitting there like, dang, I might have to break up with my boyfriend. And that probably wasn't her intention. But in the end of the day, we have to understand that this type of behavior will only lead to that feeling, whether he says you're his dream girl or not. With most of these tests, I see that it's the woman that is doing the asking. And I think it's because there's this stereotype and trauma that follows us girls, and we're often portrayed as needy or needing a lot of reassurance. I think I've seen this trope since I was a kid. The woman asking her husband, does this dress make me look fat? Or even the more recent trope of, would you love me if I was a worm?
Would you still love me if I was a worm? Wait, no, sorry, that's stupid. Let me rephrase that. Would you still love me if I was of no value to you anymore? If I broke my vows by turning into someone you never agreed to be with? If I suddenly couldn't be a wife, couldn't be a mother, if I couldn't clean the house, and I couldn't put dinner on the table, and couldn't have sex, would you still love me? Would I even be me to you? Do you love me or the things that I do? When wives get life-threatening illnesses, 1 in 5 husbands leave. Those don't seem like good odds. So I'm just asking, if I turned into a worm tomorrow and I could no longer provide you with anything at all, would the love remain?
This is a trope that has followed us for such a long time, but I think it's because a lot of us women struggle with insecure or anxious attachment style. And when we see this type of content, it's just right up our alley because I think a lot of us already have it in us. I don't think I've ever even seen my mom or any woman ask their boyfriend, does this dress make me look fat? But on the internet, I certainly do see the reinvented version of this trope, which is all of these challenges, in my opinion, it has been repackaged and made into a different form that is harder to detect. And now I think that it's keeping this trauma alive within a lot of women. And it's kind of normalizing this anxious attachment style that a lot of us have. I feel like a lot of women post this type of content because it does do well for the reasons that I mentioned, because a lot of women have this insecure attachment style. A lot of women usually relate in the comment sections I see, oh, that was the wrong answer. He was supposed to say this. Oh, he was supposed to do that. So it's like almost like a joke. We know what's happening. We know what's supposed to be said. We know that it's a trick question, but I don't think that we really take in the seriousness of these sorts of behaviors and what it can do. And I especially don't think we take into account that we're triggering other women into doing these sorts of things when this type of content is posted. And I think we need to be more careful about posting this type of content, because I think as the content creator yourself, you don't know what your comment section is going to look like. Is everyone going to be telling you to break up? Or will it look that other sort of way where when the boyfriend passes and he does good, everyone's just feeling envious and they're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I wish, when will it be my turn? You've seen those types of comment sections. And also, I think as the content creator, even if you do end up successfully testing your boyfriend and he does the right thing, did that satisfy your thirst? Did that satisfy your need to get reassurance and feel affirmed? Probably not. You're probably going to do something like that in a week or so because it's never enough, because it's a deeper problem. It's a deeper need, not just something that a question or a challenge is going to fix. And then on the flip side, as the viewer, if you already know that you have insecurities when it comes to your relationship, or you might not even know, but subconsciously there's something there, and you watch this type of content, next thing you know, you're triggered and you find yourself asking your partner, boyfriend, husband, if he can peel the orange for you, or if you are his dream girl, and you're feeling nervous, you're feeling anxious, which are all just tall tale signs that you probably shouldn't be doing this. I think the ethics of this type of content and challenge is just wrong, because it's a trick question. You are looking for a certain result, and that expectation has not been set. You did not tell your partner that you want him to say this particular thing or do this particular thing. So you were setting him up for failure, and you're also already showing that you don't have trust or faith in who he is as a person. And this can be very detrimental to your relationship if you decide to make this sort of content, or even just do it behind closed doors or whatever. So doing these sorts of tests can breach your trust in your relationship, and the foundation that may have been safe before can start to feel less safe. What if he finds out that you were testing him? How is he going to feel about that? Probably manipulated, probably like you don't trust him. And I think that a lot of men have been socialized and desensitized to this type of behavior from women. I mean, I'm looking out for the men too, but also women. I think we're festering the wound of insecurity, and we're not helping ourselves become more secure in our attachment style. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of the attachment theory. I've been mentioning it throughout this video. But essentially, the attachment theory is a psychological, evolutionary, and ethological theory concerning relationships between humans. Beyond categorizing attachment as secure or insecure, there are three subsets of insecure attachment. Secure attachment, ambivalent or anxious, preoccupied attachment, and avoidant dismissive attachment. People with an ambivalent attachment style, also referred as anxious preoccupied, ambivalent anxious, or as we commonly know it, anxious attachment, tend to be overly needy. And as the label suggests, people with this attachment style are often anxious and uncertain, lacking in self-esteem. And not everyone might have extreme issues within their anxious attachment, but I feel like this trope suggests that there are a lot of women that do have insecurities within a relationship, or lack a sense of self-esteem within their relationship, or their security of how much that their partner loves them. And I see these sorts of videos where women are breaching the trust of their partner. I realize how normalized this sort of content is, and how ingrained it almost is in us to accept it from a man's perspective, but also from a woman's perspective. It's just so normal. And like, I don't think a lot of people find it to be problematic or ethically wrong, because we're just so used to it. I feel like we need to move into a more secure attachment. Secure attachment style looks empathetic, and you're able to set appropriate boundaries. You tend to feel safe, stable, and more satisfied in your relationship. Although you're okay with being alone, you might thrive in more close and meaningful relationships. And I think in this sort of relationship, you have faith in your partner and you trust them. You don't have to really do these silly little tests because you trust them. And if they so happened to not live up to a standard that you have, you're able to have a healthy conversation with them. You're able to tell them, like, oh, well, I'd like if you peel an orange for me when I'm not able to, or when I ask, because this is my love language. Like, you're able to communicate to them your needs, and they're able to reciprocate and listen to you. And this all can happen without being exposed to the internet. The internet is going to want you to break up if your partner does not pass whatever standard has been set. Like a lot of times these videos are setting a new standard for how your boyfriend is supposed to act, when a lot of the times, like, these may not have even been standards that we had, but I think with the exposure of relationships, there's so many relationship bloggers and people that have become famous off of exposing their relationship to the world, I feel like the standards with the relationships have gone so super high. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I do feel like when you are setting yourself up for failure by adopting these standards, especially when you never had them before, and then also not communicating these standards in a healthy way to your partner, then I think it becomes more problematic. Because if there's something that you want your partner to do, you should be able to communicate that and let them know without tricking them or setting them up for, failure, setting them up to disappoint you. You are the one that gets disappointed in the end of the day, and they are none the wiser. And when they do find out, now they feel like they can't trust you anymore. So I feel like we need to be more conscious of the way that we are exposing our relationships online and the types of challenges that we are encouraging others to do, because little do we know, we are festering the wound of an insecure attachment when we do these sorts of things, and we're encouraging behaviors that are not actually secure and healthy or safe. And these sorts of things should be done preferably behind closed doors so that the internet doesn't end up telling you to break up with your boyfriend. So even though this type of content is becoming normalized and it gets trendy and it gets you views and it goes viral, I think we should be caring about if we're triggering people or if we're leading them down the wrong path more than being viral. And I just hope that there could be more content that encourages secure attachment style, and that there's more trends that promote healthy communication between partners, things that are more positive to promote. And I'm all here for standards. I'm all here for getting what you want, but let's go about it the right way. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.